There's my boy Virgil. He wants to ask y'all to do something.
Press the subscribe button and the notifications bell right below this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Having coffee with you today. And please subscribe, like, and share. I had a little something on my mind this morning. I've been asked a couple of times about. And this probably will apply to a lot of retired foreigners coming to the Philippines. Why on earth would they move to the Philippines? Of course, the first one is probably financial. But you have a lot come here that their finances are, they've done well in life and they're okay. Now, why did they come to the Philippines? Why? Now, this applies to ones that some will have a partner, girlfriend, wife, whatever, they get married. But there are quite a few that doesn't get married. They come here for other reasons. No, it's not the sex thing I'm getting ready to focus on, no. What I'm getting at is similar to my life before I came to the Philippines. The majority of the ones that do come here, they're divorced. And they probably had kids like me. Now my kids were grown and having a life of their own. And, you know, with their active lifestyle, it's far and few times for a visit or even a call. So I'm at home, and the only thing I have in front of me is a computer. I never was big on TV much other than watching movies. So the computer was my entertainment. It was my outreach to the rest of the world. Now, I actually had a lifelong dream of living on a tropical island. But I had forgotten about that dream because I didn't think it was possible. Because in my mind, a tropical island was like Hawaii, which, you know, that's not very affordable. Well, with economics being the way it was, even at that time before I came here, that's basically tied to being home. I couldn't afford to run out and do things. You know, I'd get my basic needs and so forth. And my little vehicle at the time, I had downsized. And the insurance on it, $150 a month. I'd actually had dropped my homeowner's insurance because it was out of reach. Unaffordable. But the biggest thing is home alone. I had no one to talk to. That's the key why most people come here. If they're willing to tell you the raw facts about it. They had nobody to talk to. Their family was busy. They didn't have time. The rush of life and acquiring an American dream. So, we are divorced. And even though we may have a few friends, even at that, you know, you rarely get to talk to your friends. a lot of reasons why you just don't want to explain your financials, that you can't afford to get out and do things. You know, with utilities and being able to have food on the table. And there you go. You basically have no life. But you still, there's things out there you want to do, but you're just not within means to do anything. So the more that came to me, I could see myself, I was sinking into depression. I said, this is not me. Then I got to thinking about my lifelong dream. I said, there's got to be a place tropical that I maybe can find affordable. I said, I can unload everything. I was talking to myself. I can unload everything and have no responsibilities left behind. And so I started researching different parts of the world. There's a lot of places that I could have went, but I had in the back of my mind, I had an uncle. He was during World War II, was here in the Philippines, and he put a bug in my ear many years ago. And it was a bug, I didn't give it a lot of thought. So I started looking into the Philippines. I was trying to get all the information I could about lifestyles here, the way things were run, so forth. I found out it's very similar as far as government went to the U.S. Not a whole lot like it. I mean, it was enough to where it got my interest. So I started looking into what it would cost me to rent a place. In the meantime, I did finally started talking to Grace, and she was a lot of help in letting me know the expenses of things. And I finally made the decision that I need to do something besides sit there in front of that computer and chat with a young lady that I've grown quite fond of, that had similar interests and so forth. And I decided to make the move. Well, I made the move. I'm here. Now, in the beginning, it was a crash course. Try to get stabilized, put a budget together, and so forth. First place I rented was actually expensive compared to what I could find if I had been here. So after my lease agreement was up 1 year, Grace and I found another place for about a third of the money, which made a big difference in our lifestyle. Our first year, we got married a month after I was here. Our first year was kind of tough because with the rent and the utilities and everything, groceries, it pretty well took all my income. So when we made that move and we downsized, well, for the house went, we actually got more space. But it freed up income to where Grace and I could actually get out and do things. And I acquired a few friends in the meantime. There's the key. That was what's missing in a lot of our lives when our families grow up and we end up, or we can't get along with our partners and we get divorced and we're alone. And other people have their own lives, and you don't have nobody to talk to. You live in a life of silence, and you end up talking to yourself, like I give an example to earlier. Now, you can live here comfortably if you don't have any emergencies, medical problems, on Social Security. Now, it took us a while before we could actually start setting aside, money that we could fall back on a medical emergency. And we acquired Phil Health. At that time, it was pretty cheap, because I could be on Grace's policy, and that was fantastic. And that done quite well. In the meantime, Grace and I, we explored different islands, one thing or another. We traveled about, even done adventures with friends. We was able to do that. But even if you don't have a partner, if you budget yourself, you could experience a lot of good things here in this country. And that's the key. You can get your mind off of being alone. I know some foreigners that has no partner and not married, and they're living a very good life. And then you rarely see them with a girl, and that's the way they want it. They just don't want a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as they live comfortable. But the only issue with that now, if they was to end up in a hospital, could be a problem. But that's the way they want it, so I won't focus on that too much. But if you want to know why people, and especially me, why we came to the Philippines, my reason was not just Grace alone. It was the loneliness. No, my kids were working and had no time to visit. Other family members had their own lives, and being able to get out and do things, just couldn't do it. So coming to the Philippines was actually my nursing home, or old folks' home, a place you want to go without the restrictions, and you get to go do things, besides looking out a window. So this is my retirement home. I've been doing my best to watch what I eat and take care of myself, to try to get the most out of it I possibly can. Excuse me. I have to stretch out a little bit here. But anyway, that's some of the reasoning why I'm here. So folks, take care, enjoy your life, God bless, and please subscribe, like, and share.